Hi, good morning, everybody. This morning, Nas sent me a What's Up message, and he wanted me to discuss a topic aimed specifically at the female viewers we have, at the ladies who have been watching us. And I couldn't possibly imagine how challenging and difficult it is to be a young lady in the 21st century. And I say this with all sincerity and respect. I think back to my younger days where I was college age and me and my buddies were going out to bars and clubs and stuff. And without getting into great detail, because it would be embarrassing for me to say to myself and everybody listening, but I remember some of the stuff that the guys said and discussed when it came to young women. And none of it was very good or very respectful. And, you know, I think what Nas wants me to acknowledge, the spirit of this, is that a lot of the treatment, the good treatment, the positive treatment that young ladies should receive from men is sort of disappearing little by little. And let me just make a disclaimer. When I say ladies and men, look, guys, I got to cop to it. I'm a heterosexual male. I'm not sure what goes into all the other thought processes and feelings of someone who's transgender or transitioning, but I just want to let you know you're included however this shows up for you, whether you have female energy, masculine energy, both. I'm not trying to sound ignorant. I just being honest. I don't know how it goes, so please, you're welcome in all this discussion too. Okay? That's the best I can do. There you go. So, all of that. I've seen it before. I've seen what Nas is talking about. I've walked the city streets of Boston at night, going somewhere, to a meeting, to a convenience store, to my car's parked somewhere. I was at a library, tons of places, visiting someone. And I see these young women who are like maybe at this point like 20, 15 years younger than me. And sometimes I go, Jesus Christ. It's almost as if somehow male negative treatment has caused these young ladies to feel like they have to dress in a very provocative fashion. You see, I'm choosing my words very carefully. This is always a touchy topic if a guy goes off on this stuff, speaks to this stuff. And please, my intention is not to be insulting to any female. I'm trying to make a point in your favor, actually, so hang in there with me for a little while longer. It's not the fault of the young women. If anyone's to blame, it's the fault of the young men. Because as young men, what are we supposed to do? I'll tell you what we're supposed to do. And you're talking to a guy who is a business owner, a homeowner, with one woman for 10 years, happily married for almost 4. And, you know, children are going to be in the picture very soon. So it's up to us, to the guys. Forget the girls, guys. Forget them. Just forget them. Put them on the side. You know, you hear these arguments out there like, oh, you know, women dress provocatively and that makes me feel like this, so I act out on my carnal. Yeah, no. No. That's like literally the most irresponsible thing that a guy can say. Like, you know, she looked hot, so, you know, she made me be a jerk hitting on her. Nah, dude. Sorry. That's not even logical. It doesn't even fly. It's not even realistic. None of that. It's just wrong. Flat out. So the question becomes then, how do we restore the trust and integrity between young men and young women? Look, I'm not a priest, okay? I'm not a saint. I'm not saying people can't be physically friendly. It's not where this is going. This isn't like some, you know, right-wing Christian type thing, okay? It's basically just to make you think, to make the young men think, and to make the young women think about appreciating natural beauty, about finding different ways to express yourself when it comes to wanting to engage in certain physical activities. There's so much more to share than just a booty shake on the dance floor. There's so much more to share than just a romp between the sheets. And something Nas and I have discussed, he's a very astute, bright guy for a guy his age. And I hate to say, I'm not trying to be condescending. It's like he's 22 and he's astronomically, I always joke with him, he's like a 70-year-old man in a 22-year-old body. And he's already had a career, and he's college and doing an MBA, and he has a wonderful girlfriend, and he's active in his community, and he has his head screwed on in a direction that's going to carry him very far. And the reason I'm saying this is not just to say how wonderful my partner in all this is, but also to say that those sorts of attitudes adopted early in a young man's life not only are going to improve his life, but they're going to make the women around him feel better, or the people with female energy. You see what I'm saying? Could be in a homosexual couple. There's one of the guys who's more, and one of the guys a little softer. Again, I don't know how this works. I'm trying to be inclusive. I'm probably failing, but it's my best shot. So, what you want to look at then is, how am I, as the guy, contributing to an environment where a young woman gets the idea that she has to put on like shorts up to her backside and a top where everything's hanging out. Maybe the young women are laughing at me and saying, oh my God, this guy is so traditional. But I'll tell you something, okay? I told you, I've been with one woman for 10 years. And if your goal is monogamy and a house and a family, guess what happens? You know, going out and being a trapeze artist covered in glitter at a nightclub when you want to have a kid, that's not the right way. I've known stories of people who, they get married, they're together for a while, they have a child, and then they hit the clubs again, they hit the No. When you have that child, your needs become second or third or fourth. Push to the back. Push to the back. You become a servant of that kid. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And nobody says things in this blatant a term anymore. Everything's supposed to be all free. And when it comes to kids, it doesn't work. You have to actually raise them. So how does this tie around to this whole conversation? It ties around because this conversation is really about family values at the core. I've had students in the past who I would discuss these things with, and they would tell me, you know, Mr. P, I didn't grow up with any of this stuff. Like, are my parents bad people? No. This isn't a good or bad type discussion. It's not like a family's evil if these values aren't in place. A lot of religious groups or political groups, at least here in America, they want them to think that. They want them to think like, oh, you're going to the third level of hell. But to me, it's ridiculous. It's a matter of education, and it's a matter of making people understand, showing people a better way to interact with each other and to call forth the best parts of each other, the highest self that each human with masculine energy and each human with feminine energy brings to a relationship. And the message that Nas and I are trying to transmit to the female energy side of a relationship from the male energy side is, you're beautiful just the way you are. Every single one of you, stunning. I can remember, you know, in college, grad school, sitting on a bus, you know, like in Texas, when I went to UT, I'd take this bus from North Austin from a street called Camino La Costa, and I'd take it down I-35 right into UT's campus. It was like a 20-minute ride. It was a free shuttle. It was great. I didn't have to have a car. I didn't have to think about it. And fortunately, the bus stopped right in front of my apartment complex. Like, I literally walked out the door. It was awesome. Just, it was like having a limo. It was terrific. And every once in a while on the bus, like, this woman would walk in, and it was morning, 7 a.m., and like the light would hit her, and she'd be on her way to work, and it would look like, oh, that kind of stuff. Guys have to start paying attention to those kind of subtleties in the people who you feel. I don't know how else to say this. There's so many more things than just the booty shaking nightclub, wham bam, thank you, goodbye. And You know, talks like this have gone out of fashion, gone out of style. The Facebook culture, the Tinder culture, the Grindr culture, the Craigslist, all the ways to meet somebody online. It takes this aspect. It takes the subtleties out of everything. Okay? It really does. It takes the subtleties out. It takes that mystery of the universe of two people meeting in one point in time, seemingly randomly. And you could argue, online does the same thing. They meet online. I don't know. Look, I am who I am. I believe what I believe, and that's why Nas selected me, is to transmit this stuff. Again, it's not about being right and wrong. This isn't a black and white conversation. I'm telling you what's worked for me. That's why Nas chose a guy who's almost 20 years older than him, who's just seen the Life movie a few more times. All I can do is say what's worked for me in the past. Can't tell you what to do. There was a famous case here in the United States, where a woman sued her employer. I believe it was J.P. Morgan Stanley. I always mix those two up. It was one of the big finance houses on Wall Street that's causing all the corruption. Excuse me, did I say that? Woo! And she was a beautiful woman. She was like Brazilian, Latina descent, just movie star type gorgeous. And she would wear these business suits that were sexy. I saw a picture of her. She looked great. But there were a couple guys who got really forward with her, and she was like, enough. And in the disciplinary hearing, and in the court case that followed, the guys tried to make it out, and their lawyer, who was a total scumbag, tried to make it out that this was her fault somehow. That banking is a conservative industry. She shouldn't dress this way. Fortunately, she won, because it's BS. Like, I'm a guy, okay? I'm attracted to women. Women are beautiful. This whole argument that a woman who dresses provocatively, is demanding like some kind of attention, or it's really garbage. Doesn't mean you can't go up and talk to him as a young man. Do that, but have respect. Ask them about them. Don't jump into the booty call within the first 10 seconds. This stuff, the reason I have this look on my face, this stuff used to be common sense. And it seems like it's out the window. That's why Nas wants me to talk about it, see if we can try to inject some of this stuff back in. Ladies, the expensive clothing, expensive perfume, expensive shoes at a young age when you're still trying to get economically stable. 3 words, right? Cut it out. Ever see Full House back in the day, right? Joey, cut it out. So lame. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. It's money you don't need to spend at that point in life. It's money you don't need to spend. And I guarantee, high school age, college age, a lot of those guys, they're not going to tell you. They're going to hate me for saying this. There's still a lot of them trying to figure stuff out in themselves. So, trust me when I say, if you went without that stuff, I'd be willing to bet at least 7 times out of 10, they're going to think that you're just as wonderful and just as terrific. And plus, for the guys, when you get to know a girl or the human with feminine energy, if this is a transgender, homosexual, I don't want to say different, alternative, that's exclusive, I don't know the word, those sorts of relationships, then you really should be looking at ways to sort of honor that energy, honor them, make them feel good. I've been in sales for a long time, okay? And you can argue everything's sales. I do sales in my business. I've done sales for big software companies in Latin America. I've done sales for big marketing firms in Boston. Everything, everywhere, all the time is sales. You're always trying to get your opinion out there in this day and age and enroll people in it, engage them in it, and try to have them see things from your angle such that they see benefit and gain themselves. In the relationship dating game, it's no different. And I'm telling you, if you're not making your listener feel good, then something's going wrong. You're coming from the wrong approach, and this applies in this arena. So, we're approaching 15 minutes here, and I'm starting to realize that, maybe some of this is coming across as too top-down. I always like to engage you guys equally, one-on-one. And I'll just close with this, out of all the 2,500 students I've ever had, 2,486 of them were fabulous, fabulous kids, fabulous people who were going to go on to do great things. I knew it about all of them. I really did. I have a talent for seeing talent in other people. And it's part of what makes me a good boss now in my business with my employees, the ones who I've selected and just love to work with and listen to their life stories and try to help them grow and change and stuff like that. And I know that down deep, you guys want to explore healthy relationships, and that maybe society, TV, media, movies is telling you that's lame or stupid or dumb or not fancy and exciting enough. I'll close with this. When you have a partner and you're in a room at nighttime and all there is to do is watch Netflix at 10 o'clock at night and you're exhausted from a day's work, you'll soon realize that that's where the best joy is. That's where the funny moments, sharing a story, reading a book, planning the next day, cuddling on the couch. Everybody wants to be accepted in this way, and as a guy who's been blessed by a woman who he does not deserve, love you, honey, it's the greatest feeling of all time. It makes all the noise in the world go, the volume just goes practically off. Because you have a place to direct all your most positive energy. And here's the kicker, it comes back to you. It's a true sharing. In my opinion, it's the way human beings are meant to live with romantic partner and then on a platonic level with our fellow humans. We're meant to exchange love, not in a romantic sense, but in a platonic sense with our fellow humans. Brotherhood, sisterhood, fellowship, helping each other, that sort of thing. I don't know, from one guy in the suburbs of Boston, I hope that for all of us, I hope that we all come to those revelations and those realizations over time, because I can testify. It's so wonderful. You can see my face as I talk about it. I can see my face in the camera right now, and I look like a happy guy because I am a happy guy. And I wish all that happiness for all of you. So, like always, please send questions, comments, criticism to the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you also at our email address, justinpickeringspeaks@gmail.com. And we're here for you guys. This is, again, to restate the intention of our project. Nas and I want to offer the best of ourselves to you to assist you in your journey. Every human being is a unique spirit. Where are we going? We don't know, but let's help each other get there. Thank you very much, ladies and Justin. It's a beautiful day in Boston. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Peace. Good luck. See you later.